And welcome back, everyone, to part 4 of With Naruto at a Resurrección, the Pantera Grimjow edition. Last time, we left off with the end of the Chunin exams, and by the end, I mean the invasion of Leaf happened. Sasuke still goes out of his way to go after Gaara, still nearly dies, and is saved by Naruto, either punching Gaara in the face or flat out hitting him with a Sero. Take your pick which one he decides to do. Actually, especially the way that Gaara is looking right now, Naruto might have opted for either the sword or the Sero, but honestly, he's probably they only did just get there, so he probably just rushed in and smashed him in the face. So Gaara is just kind of laughing at Naruto Uzumaki. And Naruto is looking on at this guy in shock at what he's seeing. Now, Naruto here is certainly a lot more battle hungry. Certainly enjoys a good fight more than he does in the original. Certainly a bit more brash, level-headed, or brash and strong-headed, similar to what Grimjow is. But he's still Naruto, and his experiences haven't changed. So he still sees Gaara, and I think he's still legitimately freaked out by Gaara. Maybe to a lesser extent, but to enough of an extent where he's a little hesitant. He and Gaara duke it out for a little bit. He manages to fire a Sero, hitting Gaara straight on. And Gaara's like, that move. It's what he used against the dog in the Hyuga. It's painful. It hurts! That hurt, Naruto Uzumaki! And so Gaara, comes in and overwhelms Naruto again temporarily. His Hyaru, his iron skin, does give him some protection against the sand, particularly the sand coffin. Sand or sand burial. Sand burial probably wouldn't kill him, but it'd cripple him. At least put him out of the fight, so he still doesn't want to get hit by it. Still, though, Naruto is a little off. Gaara goes after Sasuke. Sakura comes in for his defense and smacks her around, or gets smacked around, gets sand glued, let's call it, gets stuck to the tree, and starts getting crushed. Naruto immediately sees Sakura's in trouble, and says, "Yeah, let her go!" And he tries to fire a lesser attack at it. It hits, but it's just not enough to break the concentrated focus of the sand. This is probably where the magnet release was coming in too. That's why the sand was so dense, almost like concrete/stone. Though we don't know for certain. We know that Shikaku's kind of more. Shikaku isn't in control yet, but his influence is surely there, and Gaara is probably throwing caution to the wind. Hence, again, the density of the sand in his Shikaku form. That's probably brought on, A, from Shikaku, but B, Gaara using his magnet release to make the sand denser. So, Naruto is just struggling with how to deal with Gaara, but he thinks, okay, I don't even know if I'll be able to take this guy on, even if I go full on to my release state. And then he has that moment. Sasuke, comes in and says, just get Sakura, say Sakura, get out. If I die here, it just means this is as far as I was meant to go. I'll not watch my comrades die before me. Not again. And Naruto finally snaps out of it. Don't worry about me, Sasuke. Sasuke, you stay back. I've got this. And powers up, powers up his Ryatsu, his chakra. But then runs to it. Grind! Pantera! And Naruto, with that new gumption result, probably now is at a full 5 or 6 times. He's even stronger than he was prior when he fought Neji. As I stated, we're going to go a little beyond the 10 times multiplier. We're going to say about 15 here. But still, he's stronger now than when he fought Neji using Pantera. Mind you, he's not accessing his Fox chakra yet. And so Gaara just looks out and says, that form. Yes, let's see what you've got, Naruto Uzumaki! And Naruto rushes in, boom! Literally starts blitzing him. Not even with Fox chakra, just with his pure speed alone in this sport. He's gotten faster. I can't keep up with him. Sand Shuriken! Or Wind Shuriken! And just starts AoEing a bunch of sand and wind all around. Naruto gets caught up a little bit. It's like, got you! And bats him, but Naruto's quickly got Sero. He just boom, blasts Gaara. Not quite point blank, but if Gaara's here and Naruto gets blown back, Naruto's about there, so enough that Gaara gets blasted into the ground. Naruto's able to catch himself on the tree. Just looks down. Gaara, meanwhile, is pretty effed up. Again, it's similar to what happened in the original, where the explosion, he wasn't injured, or he wasn't wounded as he put it, but this Sam wasn't able to absorb the entire blast. I always found that weird. It's like, well, doesn't that mean you were injured? What it essentially means is he felt the concussive force of the blast without getting burned or shrapnel or anything like that, which means his bell was rung on that one. That's why he literally couldn't react in time when Naruto came up with the clones. And so he's probably about as messed up as he was after the Naruto 2K barrage. And so, and then Naruto's looking down at him just with the kind of like the feral eyes, but of determination. It's like, this is over! Just rushing. God damn. No way. There's no way I'm gonna lose to a guy like him. And then Naruto gets blasted back. What? And there's like, whoa. And even Naruto's looking on at the Shukaku form. It's like, what the hell? You've entertained me quite a bit, so allow me to give you a quick death. Naruto's getting caught by it, saying he's fighting it off, but there's so much of it he just can't control or can't fight it off for much longer. He looks down, he sees Sakura there. It's like, Sakura. Summoning jutsu! Boom! Now, here's the thing. As I said when we were talking about his training with the summoning jutsu, Naruto, with his resurrection, does probably have enough chakra to summon Gamabunta if we're looking at the multiplier on that. And probably to have a little excess left over from that. But that is the catch. His resurrection, which could probably last a good while at this point, is now on a timer. He's only got a few minutes left on it. In that fight, while it looked like it only took seconds, probably actually took a few minutes, because they still spent time talking, interacting, explaining things. So it was at least a few minutes. Some of the chief thought, this is going to be a cinch. No, it's you, Brat. Why did you summon me yet? I need your help, Chief Toad. Come on. What do you say? Will you help fight with me this time? Take a hike. What? That's like, you said you're going to make your henchman. Indeed, but we haven't even sealed the deal yet with a cup of sake, have we? Oh, come on. I'm not old enough to be drinking. Besides, I got to protect Sakura. Honestly, it's like, why did you brought me here? Shikaku the Sand Spirit. And now, did Naruto try to summon Gamakichi this time around? No. But so that would mean that Gamabunta would need a bit more convincing, because Gamakichi is actually the reason he ultimately agreed to help Naruto. I mean, he was probably going to help him regardless, but Naruto didn't have to try to persuade him any more than he had to. So there is that. But either way, I mean, I could see Naruto trying to summon maybe Gamakichi the first time around to fight him. I could still maybe see that happening. But it's not like it's out of character for Naruto to summon him, but it wouldn't be out of character for him not to summon him in this version. So, with that said, I would say, why not? We can have Gamakichi here. It doesn't change how we get there, really. Or sorry, it doesn't change where we get to. It just it changes how we get there. Naruto would have to do a lot more convincing, I think, with Gamabunta. I think Bunta would still lament and help him out, but still. Either way, though, hey, Pops, Gamakichi, what are you doing here? Oh, come on, Pops, the kid's not that bad. Anyway, that mean guy was picking on me. We gotta protect Sakura. It's his little girlfriend, Pop. Interesting. Very well. Hold on, Brat. And, they clash. The initial clash goes the same. Naruto's holding on. Luckily, he's still got some chakra. My resurrection's almost resurrection's almost over. Can you get a good enough hit in? I might be able to. Summon something. You've got teeth. We're gonna do a combined transformation. Summon something with teeth and claws. Teeth and claws. Summons the nine-tailed fox. Naruto's nearly at. Obviously, they get in there. Naruto's nearly out of chakra as a resurrection, knocks into Gaara. His resurrection ends. He disrupted my jutsu. It's like, Naruto getting bound up. I can't hold him much longer, Brat. So Naruto does ask he's now running empty, so he asks the fox for some chakra. gets in there, and I think it still generally ends the same. Naruto could pull his sword out too if he wanted to, but he still sees himself in Gaara, so he still ultimately. I think it ultimately ends the same way, just with them messing Gaara up a lot more along the way. And so, boom, crashes against Gaara. Is Naruto so tired that he can only crawl? I don't know if he's that tired in this version. He's probably tired enough, though, that he can barely move. But they still have their conversation. It's almost unbearable, isn't it? That weight of loneliness, the isolation, to be all alone. I've been where you are. I've been, but what happened? But then I found people who cared about me. Why would you do this for anyone but yourself? Because they saved me. They accepted me. They saved me from my loneliness. That's why I won't let you hurt me, even though I have to kill you. So obviously the day is saved, but the third Hokage still passes away. We'd catch up obviously to Jiraiya wanting to take Naruto on the training mission with him, or training mission, the search and rescue mission for Tsunade, but the training for the Rasengan as well. Now, to be fair, does Jiraiya still want to teach him this? Yes, it's still basically a birthright type of move for him, even though he's got the Sero, which essentially, by all accounts, is acting like a more improved version of the Rasengan to a degree. It doesn't have the same effect, like the grinding and rotating and all that, but it's still got range and power that Rasengan doesn't have at this moment, because there's just no extra moves added onto it. Naruto just he's like, all right, cool, I'll show. Fine. And Jiraiya obviously F's off to go flirt with a pretty woman. Naruto's just sitting there waiting for him to get back. And then Itachi and Kisame shows up and just like, all right, finally, you're here. He's like, huh? Naruto, you're going to have to come with us, please. Oh, excuse me, I'm yawning. Oh, it's been a long few days. It's going to be a long couple other days too. I'm not going to go into personal things. I'll be fine, but I've got some personal shit going on right now. So my sleep is feeling a little off. I'm a bit on edge, but I'm doing the best I can to be as upbeat as possible for these videos. And I know there's going to be some of you who say take care, and I appreciate that. But regardless, Naruto didn't in the original try to take on Kisame or Itachi. I also get the impression these guys just straight out scare him to some degree, because even though he's Grimmjow-like, he's not exactly Grimmjow, and even if he was, Grimmjow, while he would backtalk to Aizen, quickly did not want to F with Aizen. Like, not in the sense that he doesn't want to F with him. I mean, no, he legitimately did not want to F with Aizen, because Aizen could just floor him just with his Ryatsu alone. And I think Naruto could figure out here too, like, I can't mess with these people. Obviously, Sasuke tries to show up, gets his ass handed to him by Itachi. Naruto does try to aid here. Now, the difference here is that Naruto could go with the Fox Chakra, or he could go with his Resurrection. If he goes the Fox Chakra, because he's indoors and it's not like an open space like the preliminary exams was, I don't see him going for his release. I see him trying to do the Fox Chakra first. Kasama eats the chakra. What the hell? You got some tasty chakra there, kid. I guess I'll just have to shave those arms off. Just Naruto does draw his sword, goes for his sword. Just I can't get Kurama's chakra or the Fox's chakra. All right, fine. The hard way it is, and that's when Jiraiya shows up, saves the day. Woohoo! And then we get to the training for the Rasengan. Now, the training for the Rasengan does obviously go the same steps. How effective is Naruto at this training? Well, because of how volatile this Resurrection is. Some of them are a bit more elegant, the Resurrections, especially with the aspects they represent. But Destruction's not very subtle. It's not very nuanced. And it's not very simplistic. Like, it's not... It doesn't lend itself to chakra control very much. It's more chaotic. I think he actually struggles a little harder here with his Resurrection. Like, his chakra control, frankly, just isn't where it needs to be for this type of jutsu. He can do his Sero. Now, that being said, the Sero does at least give him the bare bones concept of firing chakra from his hand. So I think that does compensate a little bit. So he probably actually has about the same difficulty, but in different ways. For example, I think he can actually pop the balloon with one hand. I think he can do that. However, he can, and I think he can even pop the ball with one hand, because that's just about sheer power. And if he thinks along the lines of using a Sero, then while using the Rasengan, I think he can get there without using the second hand. The problem, though, is the control. He does not have it. He just does not have the ability, even with two hands right now, to really do that effectively. So that's the thing he's going to be struggling on a lot. Now, that being said, he probably also starts practicing with firing it with the Sero to see if it has an extra effect. Unfortunately, he notices right at the moment that because it's not a stable Rasengan, it's just falling apart before it ever reaches its target. So it's right now he's just got an imperfect tool right now, or imperfect technique. But with that said, however, with time and practice, he can certainly get that two-handed Rasengan. And I do think this is a scenario where he actually does still have to use the Shadow Clone to make the Rasengan. But they ended up finding Tsunade. Tsunade gives her whole spiel about why the Hokages are, while it's a fool's errand to be Hokage, the Hokages are a bunch of simple fools protecting others, sacrifice your life, whatever. Eventually, Naruto just gets in her face. I don't care if she is an old lady. I'll smack that sneer right off her face. Now, when they go into the street to fight, Naruto is like, Naruto, no, I wouldn't use your sword. Remember, we're in a public place. It's like, fine. I'm not going to need it anyway. It's like, oh, really? One finger is all I'm going to need. And, obviously Naruto charges in, and she knows. No, he's pretty fast, but not fast enough. Now, with the Hikaru, that didn't hurt anywhere near as much as it did in the original. And in fact, because she's going really easy on Naruto, it probably doesn't even leave a mark. He's just, his head, snaps back. That's the term I'm looking for. And he just, and she's smiling until she sees his hand up as it's kind of going flying, and she sees glowing energy. She's like, chakra? Poof, and she has to, hey, kid, what? And he blows a hole in the street. It's like, watch it, kid. Remember, there are people who live and work in this place. And now if he was using, say, Winjutsu or whatever, something to be less dangerous, that'd be one thing. But, yeah, he can't use his Resurrection because public place, and he can't really fire Sero unless it's in a straight line. Excuse me. And so Tsunade's now a little bit more on the defensive. Man, Naruto can't use his Resurrection, but he can still draw a sword, which sadly for Naruto, doesn't really use very much. Yeah, he can use it. He's not bad with it, but he's nowhere near. He's with the Zanpakuto toes. Those are the weapons. They transform different forms, different abilities with those weapons. So those are the weapons, and therefore Naruto usually becomes a sword master at some point in those series. Here, though, the swords are good, and he can certainly use his sword. He'd probably be better than, say, even Tenten, who is who's proficient in any weapon she picks up. But that's just because he carries around the sword all the time. And he probably does practice with it, but he's not, and never will be, a sword master in this series, because his sword's power revolves transforming his body and disappearing. So it's just one of those things where Naruto has it, and it's a tool in his arsenal. It's just not something he's exceptionally good at here, or they're not a masterful stroke. Naruto is coming in, though, even makes a clone or two, tries to just one-up her with the sword, but just boom, boom. Still, though, she knocks him back again. Tell me, what makes you so picky, in particular, about Hokages? It's because, unlike you, I admire the Hokages. It's my dream to be like them. To be Hokage, that is my dream. And she, is all taken aback. He then tries the Rasengan. Fails. Damn it! All right, that's enough. And so, so why bother teaching him that technique to someone who would never be able to master it? Just give me 3 days and I'll have that technique down on the square. He's like, I might hold you to that. Fine, I'll even throw my necklace in as collateral. But if you fail, you gotta admit that, give up on your dream of being Hokage. And I get to keep everything in Froggy here. Yeah, I remember that. She took his wallet. Dude, God, Tsunade is just a shitheel of a person when we first meet her. She really is. Now, yes, Tsunade is actually, I know, she's been through a lot, trauma, all that, coping poorly, but coping. And that's fine, whatever. Doesn't mean you're not a shitheel of a person. She was a shitheel of a person when we met her. Again, she turned out to be a very good person in the end. But still. So the training Naruto goes under continues. Naruto's never able to actually perfect it, but he says, I'll just wing it. Obviously, Orochimaru comes, Tsunade attacks him. Fast forward to the three-way deadlock. I'm running a long battery, that's why I'm kind of speeding through this. But also, there's a lot of non-changes happening at the moment. Naruto tries to go after Kabuto. Now, when going after Kabuto, he can still fight with range, and maybe even makes a few clones, fires a Sero from a couple of them to keep Kabuto on guard, comes in with a Rasengan, but ultimately he's still blinded in the eye. Can't release his. He releases his Resurrection when he gets swallowed by the snake, kills that, and then he's going toe to toe with Kabuto. Now his Hyaru can block off the chakra scalpels to a certain degree. It can't because it's permeating his body with his own chakra. It's still hurting him, but now he's kind of on a level of speed and strength and durability that Kabuto is very wary of. So he's really like boop boop, kind of trying to put Naruto down. Naruto's just finding it hard to move, but he's still able to land his shots on him. Ultimately, though, he can't even fire a Sero, but he's like having trouble firing a Sero with the range of it. And ultimately gets, brought down to his Rasengan. Still his Resurrection, just give up now, Naruto. It's like, no way. Never gonna happen. You just threw it away. Dreams can come true when you're dead. And so he comes in for Naruto. Naruto makes the clone, makes the Rasengan. He gets hit one more time. Although Kabuto is doing this as a reaction because Naruto does randomly develop this hole in his body when he's got the Resurrection. He actually accidentally aims more for part of the hole than on his actual person, like his chest, because it's roughly like where his navel is. That's where Grimmjow's hole is. Although Grimmjow's hole is actually a little higher up when he's not in Resurrection, if I remember correctly. It's a little more in the center. But yeah, so he grabs it, but because of the nature of his Resurrection, and again, still having a Hyaru, Iron Skin, and all that, Naruto doesn't get Naruto's not on death's door, but the Resurrection just fades, the sword returns back to normal, Kabuto gets blasted, he's healing back up, although he's in a little worse shape than before, and Naruto does collapse on the ground. He's not unconscious, though. Just, hey, Granny, just remember our bet, I win. And she smiles, like, to be Hokage, that's your dream. And then he kind of just it's like, what's going on? He's just kind of like watching from blurred eyes as everything else transpires. Orochimaru's still trying to take him out, and a child with that sword and learning an ability, learning a technique like that, it's impossible. It's unheard of. And so he tries to attack him. Tsunade and Jiraiya do the three-way deadlock, and ultimately everything goes the same. Tsunade is becoming the 5th Hokage. She gives Naruto a kiss on the forehead, saying, be a great man and a great Hokage. And there you go. So that's where we're going to leave part 4. Really, we're going to focus mostly on the Sasuke retrieval stuff next time around. So keep your eyes out for that. Until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.